Commission meeting for September 11th, 2025. This day is a day that we don't necessarily want to remember because of what happened around our country. I would also like for us to take a moment of silence today on behalf of Charlie Kirk. Irrespective of our political views, political violence should never be tolerated. It should never, ever be tolerated. It's abhorrent, and I feel for his family and for everyone that he touched, and for us as a civilization. Where is our humanity where someone could think such an act is okay? So if we could just take a moment of silence in his honor. Amen. May God bless him. We are going to begin with our recognitions. I'm going to turn this over to our city manager, Art Noriega. Okay, but who's he doing now?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This first recognition is something I sort of have a sort of point of personal pride in. You develop relationships over the years, and this is a relationship I had early in my career with the city. Someone that I admired tremendously. I didn't get a chance to work with him a great deal, but when I did, it was just absolutely amazing. The people that worked with him were remarkable, had a remarkable perspective on what a giving and kind person he was, what an exemplary city employee he was. So the first is a proclamation for Alan Palms Day. If his family can come up, so I can read the, Eric, if you want to come up. And I'll read the proclamation. It speaks to his long tenure here at the city, kind of a groundbreaking role he had with the city at the time. No, come all the way up, yeah. Whereas Alan was described by all who knew him as a man deeply loved and admired, whose profound kindness, honesty, and intelligence were hallmarks of his character and guiding principles throughout his life. Whereas Alan excelled both as a student and an athlete, earning a degree in architecture from Rensselaer Polytechnical Institute and later a master's in building engineering construction from MIT, demonstrating his lifelong commitment to education, excellence, and innovation. Alan began his distinguished career with the City of Miami on September 2nd, 1980. As assistant to the city manager, and through his vision, skill, and dedication, was promoted to the city's chief architect on April 29th, 1986. Whereas during his tenure as chief architect, Alan shaped the landscape of Miami, leaving an enduring legacy that lives in the city's iconic skyline, its vibrant parks, and its welcoming marinas, all of which continue to enrich the lives of residents and visitors alike. Alan faithfully served the city of Miami until his retirement on September 2nd, 2005, after 25 years of dedicated public service. His contributions remain a cornerstone of the city's identity and growth. Alan's life of service, accomplishment, and integrity stands as an inspiration to us all, reminding us of the profound impact one individual can have on a community. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Francis X. Juarez, I'm a surrogate for today, obviously, the Mayor of the City of Miami, on behalf of the City Commission and the residents of our great city, do hereby recognize and honor the extraordinary life and service of Alan I. Palms and proclaim September 11th, 2025 as Alan I. Palms Day. We're joined by we're joined by Eric Palms, who's Alan's son, who I've known for probably 30 years or more, maybe, and his lovely wife, mom. Oh, no, Alan's wife. Yeah. I know you're his mother. So this was something I reached out to Eric and I said, when I heard of his passing, I said, he was somebody that really was the purest example of a public servant you could ever. Very quiet, unassuming. Wasn't somebody that when you ran into him, he was always kind, always thoughtful. Never drew attention to himself. He poured so much into his work, and I had a chance to be exposed to that for roughly 5 or 6 years, and it was an incredible experience. And I said, it's rare we get an opportunity to honor individuals like that. Unfortunately, it happens in this case after their passing, but I still wanted to take a moment, have just the utmost respect for him, but obviously your family as well. And I think that, this is a well-deserved recognition, and, I couldn't have been happier to try to make it happen, and certainly thank you.
It's often that people work very hard. I'm looking out here, and I bet there's so many people that you would like to have honored in your family. So what a thrill. How wonderful that you'd recognize Alan, because he was exactly what you said, the opposite of his wife. And thank you, because he worked so hard and he was so proud. And if you look at some of the buildings in Miami, he had his finger on it. So how nice of you to do this. Thank you so, so much.
I grew up here in Miami, and my whole life, my dad was connected to the city of Miami, and now in my professional life, I got reconnected to that. But when I see the landscape of downtown and Coconut Grove, and I see some of the people here, I see Monty Trainer here that touched my dad very much, very moving. So thank you so much for this honor. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Anybody else want to say anything? For those of you who don't know, Eric is the CEO, president of the Orange Bowl Committee. So he's been deeply rooted in our community for a really long time. I offered him my condolences this week because his Florida Gators got beat by my alma mater. So we had a lot of playful back and forth. But Eric is a direct reflection of the same kind of temperament, the same kind of sort of selfless individual. You don't hear about Eric a lot. He's not somebody that really draws attention to himself, but what he's also contributed to the community has been amazing too. So, you are a legacy to your dad, to be honest with you. So without that. I have the distinct pleasure of handling this next proclamation, too, of somebody I've known for a few years, and we cross paths quite a bit. He also happens to be somebody who does a lot of work with the city and has certainly left his DNA in our community as well. Whereas Anthony R. Gomez, come on up, Tony, if you can, has dedicated more than 3 decades to business leadership, construction, community development, serving as owner and president of Unitech Builder Corp. Since 1992, while also leading multiple companies that have generated economic growth and created opportunities across South Florida. Whereas Mr. Gomez has contributed to the advancement of public infrastructure and safety through his work with Miami-Dade County Public Schools, City of Miami Beach, and the South Dade Government Center, delivering critical upgrades, including ADA compliance, fire systems, recreational facilities, and stormwater infrastructure. Whereas his leadership extends beyond business, as demonstrated through his presidency of the Latin Builders Association, executive service with the Hispanic American Builders Association, and board membership with the Miami-Dade County Crime Stoppers. where he has consistently championed community safety, advocacy, and economic development. Whereas Mr. Gomez has been recognized with multiple honors, including proclamations declaring Anthony R. Gomez Day in Miami-Dade County and several municipalities, as well as a Distinguished Service Award from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission for his outstanding dedication to protecting the people and resources of the state of Florida. Whereas Anthony R. Gomez continues to inspire others through his commitment to civic engagement, support of bipartisan initiatives, and steadfast dedication to strengthening the communities of South Florida. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Francis X. Suarez, Mayor of the City of Miami, on behalf of the City Commission and residents of our great city, do hereby acknowledge and proclaim September 11, 2025 as Anthony R. Gomez Day.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks the mayor, the commission, councilmen, councilwoman, the citizens, city manager. You guys have a great city. I grew up here. I went to Kelsey Far. I went to Arapata. I went to Santa Clara. I grew up here. Yeah, I lived a block away from Bobby Maduro Stadium. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for always keeping Unitech afloat as a vendor. And you guys are a class act. Thank you very much.
I'm going to turn it over now to my colleague, Commissioner Pardo. Okay, let's put your I understand. I understand. These are the days.
Good morning, everyone. Coconut Grove, one of Miami's most historic and vibrant neighborhoods, has long been the center of culture, community, and culinary innovation. The Coconut Grove Business Improvement District, the BID, has fostered a thriving culinary scene that blends charm, diversity, and world-class dining, set against a uniquely walkable and welcoming village atmosphere. Coconut Grove is home to more than 20 distinctive brunch destinations within a 1-mile radius, boasting an unmatched variety of brunch options to suit every palate, from long-term neighborhood gems to globally recognized culinary experiences. Green Street Cafe, a beloved Grove staple since 1990, helped spark Miami's brunch movement, becoming a cornerstone of its culinary evolution, laying the foundation of a new era of brunch culture. Quote, Coconut Grove has always been Miami's brunch pioneer. Long before every restaurant in Miami hosted brunch, Grovites were enjoying mimosas, omelets at Green Street Cafe for more than 2 decades, end quote. Lane Doss, former food editor at Miami New Times, describing the neighborhood's brunch legacy. Today, Coconut Grove is home to award-winning brunch spots, including the Michelin star Cruise Kitchen, Bib Gourmand, favorites like Chuck's Diner and Osobuco, and scenic rooftop venues like Level 6 and Bellini that provide breathtaking views of Biscayne Bay. Coconut Grove continues to draw locals and visitors alike for its unbeatable brunch offerings, culinary creativity, and the unique community spirit that defines the historic neighborhood. Now, therefore, Damian Pardo, Commissioner 2, District 2, do hereby proclaim Coconut Grove as the brunch capital of Miami and commend the visionary leadership of the Coconut Grove BID for its continued efforts to support local businesses, foster innovation, and elevate the neighborhood's position as a premier culinary destination. Let this proclamation celebrate Coconut Grove's rich brunch legacy and invite the community to savor a one-of-a-kind experience. Coconut Grove, the brunch capital of Miami. We welcome the BID. Mark Burns, Executive Director of the Coconut Grove BID.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Commissioner. Thank you, the rest of the commissioners, for having us up here. For those of you that don't know, September 21st is National Brunch Day. So on September 21st, we're running a little promo. We have participating restaurants from 11 to 3. Come out, enjoy brunch. You can go on our website, coconutgrove.com, and you can get a little more detail. We're going to be giving out free glasses to the first 200 participants at each restaurant. So come on out. We hope to see everybody out there, and happy National Brunch Day, right?
And now we'll have a proclamation from our newest commissioner, Commissioner Rosado.
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. So I am very pleased. This is actually my first proclamation ever, and I could not think of somebody more worthy than Dolly McIntyre. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Dolly's legacy, I was very fortunate to admire her work from afar, but had the great fortune to get to know her a little bit recently. I actually met with her for the first time just days before her passing, but her legacy has existed for so many years. Dolly McIntyre was a preservationist for almost 60 years. She was one of the founders of the Villagers. The Villagers ultimately led to the creation of the Dade Heritage Trust, and she became one of the founders of the Florida Trust for Historic Preservation. She helped to preserve and protect dozens of locally significant and nationally significant historic monuments, starting with Douglas Entrance and including a variety of monuments and other really special places here in Miami, Miami-Dade, and South Florida, and even throughout Florida. So I'm very pleased today to be joined by Dolly's family and by our great, great friends, Christine Rupp, and Kelly Rice Shields, and Alana Perez. I would love to have you all say some words about your mother's beautiful, beautiful, and grandmother's beautiful, beautiful legacy, if you'd like.
Hi, my name is Sheffield. I'm Dolly's daughter. First of all, I'd just like to thank the City of Miami and all of you for this proclamation. It is very meaningful to my family. My mom loved Miami, having lived here for 68 years. She was the daughter of a career naval officer, and so she never lived anywhere more than 4 years prior to coming to Miami in 1957 to go to the university. And when she came to the university, she knew this was home, and she never left. For the first time, my mom set down roots, and I just want to read a quote that she said. One of the things that makes for roots is landmarks. Historic places tell our story and have our memories. They give us a richness and a continuity and a stability that is important. Her roots, the preservation of dozens of historic properties in the city of Miami, are her legacy and continue to touch the lives of many people in the city that she loved. Thank you for honoring her today.
Commissioner Gabella now will make some presentations.
Congratulations. Congrats. Sorry.
President for the World Day of Health. He's here, so get ready.
Okay. We're going to read the whole thing. Yeah, this one's here.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And now I would like to honor a couple of people that have done an outstanding job. And one of them is, we would like to honor Juan C. Perez for his outstanding contribution to enhancing public safety in Alapata. He is currently the legal advisor for the Alapata Troop and has provided great guidance to the efforts. Would you please come up, Mr. Perez? Yeah. And then I'm going to read the names. Where is Mr. Perez?
Is Mr. Perez here?
Okay. I'll hand it to you.
Yeah.
So you're going to read
I'm going to read the first one, yeah. These proclamations and recognitions, I want to recognize our troops in City of Miami and Alapata, our district, my district, that they've done an outstanding job. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And I want to read it real quick. Whereas the City of Miami Commission convenes on this day, September 11th, 2025, to formally recognize the extraordinary achievements of City of Miami Police Commander George L. Rodriguez and Alapata support team. Their unwavering commitment and strategic skills have catalyzed a remarkable transformation within the Alapata neighborhood. Whereas Alapata, a vibrant yet historical challenged section of Miami, has long grappled with crime rates that diminish the quality of life for its residents. Recognizing the urgent need for intervention, Commander Rodriguez and his team embarked on a mission to restore safety and security to his vital neighborhood. Their approach was not merely reactive, it was proactive. Multifaceted strategy designed to address the root causes of crime while simultaneously implementing innovative law enforcement techniques. Whereas the result speaks volumes, as of August 2025, Alapata has witnessed an outstanding negative 26.3 overall reduction in crime compared to the same period last year. Year to date, the Alapata support team has made a total of 1,025 arrests and within a total of 3,647 traffic tickets. This is not just a marginal improvement, it's a seismic shift that reflects the effectiveness of Commander Rodriguez's leadership as well as the hard work and dedication from his team. This overall reduction impresses decrease across the spectrum of criminal activities, each representing a meaningful victory for the safety and well-being of our community, including a 49.8 decrease in stolen vehicles, 36.5 decrease in burglaries, 39.3% decrease in car break-ins, 25.8 decrease in thefts, 26.4 decrease in assaults, and a 15.6% decrease in robberies, demonstrating the tireless efforts of law enforcement, community leaders, and residents working together to create a safer environment for all. Whereas this dedicated team of officers achieved these results through a combination of data-driven strategies, community engagement, and relentless dedication. They implemented targeted patrols in high-crime areas, utilizing predictive policing techniques to anticipate and prevent criminal activity. They foster strong relations with community leaders, residents, and local businesses, creating a collaborative network of vigilance and support. Now, therefore, obviously, I'm not Francis Suarez. I'm Miguel Angel Gaviria, District 1 Commissioner. Francis Suarez, Mayor of the City of Miami, Commissioner Miguel Angel Gaviria, moi, formally enthusiastically commend Commander George L. Rodriguez and Alapata and his Alapata support team for their outstanding achievements, unwavering dedication, and significant contributions to enhancing public safety in the Alapata neighborhood. Their exemplary service embodies the highest ideals of law enforcement and serves as a model for our communities striving to overcome similar challenges. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We really do appreciate that from the bottom of our hearts, what you do for us. Thank you. And I'm going to call the individual names. First is Commander Rodriguez. Congratulations, sir. Next is Sergeant Workman Napoleon. Sergeant Matthew Vasquez. Sergeant Walter Sarafor. Officer Madeline Cruz. Officer Vivian Collins. Officer Jose Gutierrez Jr. Officer Duez Just Juste. All right, choose. Officer Carla Avila. Officer Joseph Gomez. Officer Daniel Echeverri. Officer Joseph Prado. Officer Fernando Hernandez. Officer Brandon Larios. Officer Daniela Diaz. Officer Stephen Almanzar. Officer Julio Villegas. All right. Detective Alexander Duarte. PSA Public Service, Bolanda Millerson. Dolanda. We did that one already. Okay. Yeah. So I want to thank you, gentlemen, Chief, for your outstanding, ladies and gentlemen, yes. Yes, all of you, I'm sorry. But I want to thank all of you, ladies and gentlemen, for your outstanding work, for your professionalism, and for your dedication to District 1. And I thank you, my wife and I thank you from the bottom of our hearts and all our residents. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm going to steal the chief's words because he tells me this all the time. Crime is down. The city of Miami is a little bit safer every day with these men and women, with the leadership of our chief, Chief Manny Morales. And I tell you, there isn't a time in the day, in our 24 hours, that he is not available to us. We get text messages, we get calls, we're alerted. And these men and women, not just in District 1, but throughout the city of Miami, what I love most about you guys is your community policing, your spirit of community, where you meet the community before something happens. You meet our residents without handcuffs. And I love that. My neighborhoods in District 5, we know all of our commanders, everybody, I'm sure, just like Commissioner Gabella, Commissioner Pardo, Commissioner Rosado, Commissioner Corroyo, we know our public servants, and that's what they are. And I keep them in my prayers every day because they don't have an easy job. And the things that we are doing with our police department and innovation, I had an opportunity to check out the drone program, and I was like, wow. Real time, high definition, and I can't wait till it's expanded. And I'm hoping to expand it in D5 first. But congratulations, you guys, and congratulations, Chief.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Chair, Commissioners. These guys don't get the recognition they deserve each and every day. They go out there and they put their best foot forward for the city of Miami and for the residents. And the Commissioner, you read out the numbers, right? And when you're looking at those double-digit reductions across most violent crimes and property crimes, it's hard to kind of lose the sense that those are, individuals that were not terrorized, families that were not traumatized. When I look at the achievements that these folks have made behind me, it's incredible. To think that now in Alapata, as of today, there's only 30 robberies. I came here in 1994. We get 30 robberies a week, if that. It is nothing short of awe-inspiring. What you do for the city of Miami deserves daily recognition and praise. May God bless each and every one of you and your families for doing God's work. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, folks, and we got one more. Last but not least, again, we want to give that proclamation to whereas the health Qigong is a form of exercise deeply rooted in traditional Chinese medicine, incorporating breathing techniques, physical movements, and mental focus, promoting health and well-being for practitioners of all ages and abilities. Whereas World Health Qigong Day is celebrated annually on the second Saturday of September, bringing people together from around the globe to participate in the practice of Qigong and to promote physical, mental, and emotional health. And whereas this year, on September 13, 2025, residents of the City of Miami will gather at Antonio Maceo Park to observe World Health Qigong Day, engaging in a day community wellness, peaceful movement, and mindful connection to foster health and balance. And whereas the practice of Qigong has been shown to enhance the quality of life by reducing stress, increasing flexibility, improving circulation, and fostering a sense of tranquility, benefiting both individuals and the community as a whole. And whereas the City of Miami is committed to promoting activities to support the health, wellness, and happiness of its residents, fostering a vibrant and active community. I, therefore, Francis Suarez, Mayor of the City of Miami, and Commissioner Miguel Angel Gabriela, together with the Honorable Mayors of the City Commission, do hereby proclaim September 13, 2025 as World Health Qigong Day. Congratulations to both of you. Congratulations, ma'am. You want to say a couple of words?
Thank you so much, Mr. Gabriela. It's a big honor to be there, to be here with all of you. World Health Qigong Day is this Saturday. We celebrate in the Antonio Maceo Park. Health Qigong belongs to the world. It's a world celebration, and all of you, I invite you today to practice for the keeping peace of mind, calm, serenity. Yeah, we all need in this moment to calm the minds. Okay, thank you so much.
Our last proclamation, we are going to recognize, and bear with me, folks, because estudiar español todos los días, this one was a hard one for me. Feliz Mes de la Herencia, España, or Happy Hispanic Heritage Month. And on behalf of Miami-Dade County's Hispanic Affairs Advisory Board, we are recognizing Hispanic Heritage Month, or it is Mes de la Herencia, España. But I can't say that without reading it because it's a little hard for me still yet. But Here, whereas Miami's identity has been profoundly shaped by Hispanic migration, beginning with the Cuban exodus of 1959 and continuing with waves of new residents from Central America, South America, Mexico, Puerto Rico, and the Dominican Republic. And whereas today more than 70% of Miami's residents identify as Hispanic or Latino, and over half were born outside of the United States, making Miami one of the nation's most diverse and international cities. And whereas Miami is proudly bilingual, with Spanish woven into daily life and cultural landmarks such as Little Havana's Calle Ocho, Wynwood, and Alapata, home to Dominican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, and other Hispanic families, showcase its vibrant heritage. And whereas Miami is also home to world-renowned Hispanic artists, entrepreneurs, and celebrities whose global achievements bring pride and prestige to the city. And whereas Hispanic Heritage Month, or Mes de la Herencia Hispana, observed from September 15th to October 15th, celebrates the contributions of Hispanic communities whose resilience, creativity, and leadership continue to shape Miami's identity. And whereas the Miami-Dade County Hispanic Affairs Advisory Board proudly represents residents of the city of Miami and works to highlight their heritage and achievements. And now, therefore, be it resolved, our mayor, Francis Suarez, of the city of Miami, and members of the City of Miami Commission of the City of Miami, Florida, do hereby proclaim September 15th through October 15th, 2025 as Hispanic Heritage Month in the City of Miami, and present this proclamation to the Miami-Dade County Hispanic Affairs Advisory Board in recognition of its leadership and advocacy. In observance thereof, I call upon the good people of the City of Miami, our Honorable City Commission, to join in recognizing Hispanic Heritage Month. Congratulations. And I tell you, all of our districts are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. We are celebrating big fashion in District 5, and I know it's the same with all of my colleagues, Commissioner Pardo, Commissioner Gabella, Commissioner Rosado, Commissioner Carollo. Just stay tuned to our social medias and our emails where we put out where you can come and celebrate. It is one of the nicest times of the year because I get to practicar mi español todos los días, not just study, but I get to use it and speak to everyone in Espanol. So congratulations, and congratulations to all of my colleagues, because I am the only one of non-Hispanic heritage up here, but I do hail from South America, so that's right. And yes, so, and we all are one family. So thank you guys for being here. Who's going to speak? Luis? Carla? Luis? Carla? Luis is from District 5, by the way.
And appointed by Commissioner Keon on the county level, District 3, which is in District 5 also. But we welcome everyone to please join us. This is a celebration, a whole month of various countries representing all of Latin America and Central America as well. And we're very excited about the set of programs that we have planned for the month. It's, for the most part, it's free. Please go online and you know, avail yourself of the information. But this Saturday, we start with the Puerto Rican Heritage Game at the Miami Marlins Stadium as a kickoff for the Hispanic celebration for the month. But now I give it to the chair lady just to say a few words, because she's the boss of the committee.
Thank you so much, Chairwoman and the Commission. Thank you for honoring us and for allowing us to do this work for the community. We want to let you guys know that on Tuesday, September 16th at the Stephen P. Clark Center, we'll be doing our Hispanic Heritage Month kickoff. You're all invited. And please let us know how we can be a part of your events in your district.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. At this time, we are going to have a moment. We're going to start our commission meeting with prayer. And today we have Father David from the Church of the Little Flower to bless us with prayer.
Thank you, Chairwoman. My name is Father David. I'm a priest of the Archdiocese of Miami. I'm the parochial vicar at Church of the Little Flower in Coral Gables, a beautiful community that I'm honored to serve. I'm Italian, as you can get from my accent, but by now I'm also half Cuban because I lived 10 years in Hialeah, where I was formed in the Redemptoris Mater Seminary, which is a beautiful seminary, a place that I invite you to visit. It's a missionary seminary, and that's the reason I'm here today, and I'm serving this local church. You know, today is 9/11. I also like to offer the prayers for all the victims on 9/11. I know we had a commemoration before outside. My pastor, Father Manny, was here earlier. But I would like also to remember specifically one man, Frank Palumbo, a firefighter. He died giving his life to save people from the collapse of the Twin Towers. And he was the father of 10. His youngest was less than 2 years old when he died. And what is impressive is his witness of faith. When he died, Mayor Giuliani went to his funeral and said, "This is the only funeral that I've seen there was a feast." His wife, and now she's also passed away because of cancer, said, "Now God will be my husband and he will be the father of my children." And this word was true. God did not leave this family alone. On the contrary, his firstborn now is a priest in the Diocese of Newark, and all his children are in the church. They've discovered that God was their true father. And this is a word also for us today, for all of you. Christ will not leave this country alone, will not leave alone not even one of us. Each one of us, we have our own personal struggles, family sufferings, sufferings in our history, but Christ will not leave us alone. On the contrary, it's in the cross that we discover the resurrection. And especially today, after the death of Charlie Kirk, we can truly see the same. We can say the same. God will not leave him alone, and he will not leave alone his family. And having said this, let us pray together. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this day. We give you thanks for having the gift of a government. We pray that you may inspire and give faith to the commissioners, that they may remember that this country was founded on freedom of religion and not freedom from religion. We pray, Lord, that you may accompany us, help us to serve the common good of this nation. And may Almighty God bless all of you in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Thank you, Chairwoman.
At this time, we will say the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Rosado.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may all be seated. Mr. City Manager, would you please? Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. City Attorney.
Yes, Madam Chair. Although if you want to read it, I'll be more than happy. Welcome to the September 11th City Commission meeting. Detailed information about the processes, order of business, rules of procedure, and scheduling or rescheduling of City Commission meetings can be found in Chapter 2, Article 2 of the City Code, a copy of which is available online at www.municode.com. Any person who is a lobbyist pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code must register with the City Clerk and comply with related city requirements for lobbyists before appearing before the City Commission. A person may not lobby a city official, board member, or staff member until registering. A copy of the code section about lobbyists is available in the City Clerk's office or online at www.municode.com. Any person making a presentation, formal request, or petition to the City Commission concerning real property must make the disclosures required by the City Code in writing. A copy of the City Code section is available at the office of the City Clerk or online at www.municode.com.
The City of Miami requires that anyone requesting action by the City Commission must disclose before the hearing any consideration provided or committed to anyone for agreement to support or withhold objection to the requested action pursuant to City Code Section 2-8. Any documents offered to the City Commission that have not been provided 7 days before the meeting as part of the agenda materials will be entered into the record at the City Commission's discretion. In accordance with Section 2-33F and G of the City Code, the agenda and the material for each item on the agenda is available during business hours at the City Clerk's office and online 24 hours a day at www.miamigov.com. The meeting of the Miami City Commission is a limited public forum. Any person may be heard by the City Commission through the chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the City Commission unless modified by the chair. Public comment will begin at approximately 10 a.m. and remain open until public comment is closed by the chairperson. Any person making offensive remarks or who becomes unruly in the commission chambers will be barred from further attending City Commission meetings and may be subject to arrest. No clapping, applauding, heckling, or verbal outbursts in support or opposition to a speaker or his or her remarks shall be permitted. No signs or placards shall be allowed in the commission chambers. Persons exiting the commission chambers shall do so quietly. Members of the public wishing to address the body may do so by submitting written comments via the online comment form. Please visit www.miamigov.com/meeting instructions for detailed instructions on how to provide public comment using the online public comment form. The comments submitted to the comment form have been and will be distributed to the elected officials, their staff, and city administration throughout the day so that the elected officials may consider the comments prior to taking any action. Additionally, the online comment form will remain open during the meeting to accept comments and distribute to the elected officials, their staff, and the city administration up until the chairperson closes public comment. Public comment may also be provided here at City Hall, located at 3500 Pan American Drive, Miami, Florida, subject to any and all city rules as they may be amended. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the City Commission takes action on such proposition. When addressing the City Commission, the member of the public must first state their name, their address, and what item to be spoken about. Any person with a disability requiring assistance, auxiliary aids, and services for this meeting may notify the city clerk. The city has provided different public comment methods to indicate, among other things, the public support, opposition, or neutrality on the items and topic to be discussed at the City Commission meeting in compliance with Section 286.0114 4C Florida statutes. The public has been given an opportunity to provide public comment during the meeting and within reasonable proximity and time before the meeting. Please note, commissioners have generally been briefed by city staff and the city attorney's office on items on the agenda today. Anyone wishing a verbatim record of an item considered at this meeting may request it at the Office of Communications or view it online at www.miamigov.com. For P&Z items, planning and zoning items, shall proceed according to Section 7.1.4 of the Miami 21 Zoning Ordinance. Parties for any PZ items, including any applicant, appellant, appellee, city staff, and any person recognized by the decision-making body as a qualified intervener, as well as the applicant's representatives and any experts testifying on behalf of the applicant, appellant, or appellee may be physically present at City Hall to be sworn in by oath or affirmation by the city clerk. The members of the City Commission shall disclose any ex parte communications to remove the presumption of prejudice pursuant to Florida Statute Section 286.0115 and Section 7.1.4.5 of the Miami 21 Zoning Ordinance. The order of presentation shall be as set forth in Miami 21 and in the City Code. Staff will briefly present each item to be heard. The applicant will present its application or request to the City Commission. If the applicant agrees with the staff recommendation, the City Commission may proceed to its deliberation and decision. The applicant may also waive the right to an evidentiary hearing on the record. For appeals, the appellant will present its appeal to the City Commission, followed by the appellee. Staff will be allowed to make any recommendation they may have. Please silence all cell phones and other noise-making devices. This meeting can be viewed live on Miami TV, the city's Facebook page, the city's Twitter page, the city's YouTube channel, and Comcast Channel 77. The broadcast will also have closed captioning. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. Mr. City Clerk.
Thank you, Chair. The procedures for individuals who are providing testimony to be sworn in for planning and zoning items and any quasi-judicial items on today's City Commission agenda will be as follows. The members of city staff or any other individuals required to be sworn in who are currently present at City Hall will be sworn in by me, the City Clerk, immediately after I finish explaining these procedures. Those individuals who are appearing remotely may be sworn in now or at any time prior to the individual providing testimony for planning and zoning items and or quasi-judicial items. Commissioners, are you comfortable with all the notice provisions set forth in these uniform rules of procedures we have established for this meeting?
Yes,
Chair may administer the oath for the planning and zoning items.
please.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If we will be speaking on any of today's PZ items, those are the planning and zoning items. May I please have you stand and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give at today's hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And your response is? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, do you have any items that will be withdrawn or deferred from this agenda?
We do, and I'll go through them slower than normal because we have quite a few. That way we don't miss any. If you have any questions, let me know. And just for the record, I would never take George's responsibility away from the early part of the meeting because I know how much he really enjoys it.
Thank you for
I have an oxygen tank in the back for him too, so he catches breath. Good morning, Madam Chairwoman, Commissioners, Mr. City Attorney, Mr. City Clerk. At this time, the administration would like to defer and or withdraw the following items. PH 4 to be withdrawn. PH 5 to be deferred to September 25th. RE 7 to be deferred to September 25th. RE 9 to be deferred to December 11th. RE 10 to be withdrawn. RE 17 to be withdrawn. RE 21 to be deferred to September 25th. FR 1 to be withdrawn. FR 3 to be deferred to December 11th. DI 3 to be indefinitely deferred. DI 7 to be withdrawn. DI 8 to be withdrawn. DI 9 to be withdrawn. DI 11 to be withdrawn. And DI 12 to be deferred to October the 9th. That concludes the items.
I have a question on one. Okay, never mind. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion and a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hold on.
And Chair, just before the record, before we move on, Commissioner Pardo will be co-sponsoring RE 12 and RE 26, and Commissioner Rosado has a pocket item. It's a resolution regarding a purchase and sale agreement for land acquisition to construct a public park. And we'll show that as PI 1.
PI 1. Okay, thank you. For the park?
For the park?
Acquisition.
It's the corner of 26th Avenue and Northwest 3rd Street.
Good. We need more parks in the city, especially in that area around there that is lacking in them. So that's very good. The more, the better. Madam Chair, through you, if I may ask the manager to briefly just go quickly through all the items that we just approved to defer.
Sure. PH 4 to be withdrawn. PH 5 to be deferred to September 25th. RE 7 to be deferred to September 25th. RE 9 to be deferred to December the 11th. RE 10 to be withdrawn. RE 17 to be withdrawn.
RE 17?
17, yes, sir.
Okay.
RE 21 to be deferred to September 25th. FR1 to be withdrawn. FR3 to be deferred to December the 11th. DI3 to be indefinitely deferred. DI7 to be withdrawn. DI8 to be withdrawn. DI9 to be withdrawn. DI11 to be withdrawn. And DI12 to be deferred to October the 9th.
Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to open the floor for public comments. I understand that we have Mayor Lago with us today. If you could step forward. Good morning, sir.
Madam
Mayor
Chair.
Lago from the fine city of Coral Gables. I forgot to say that.
Madam Chair, thank you for allowing me the privilege to be here. How much time do I have? What are the rules? I want to make sure I follow
2
the rules here.
minutes.
2 minutes. Perfect. I'll be very brief. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Vice Chairman, it's a pleasure to see you.
Likewise.
Along with my dear friend, Commissioner Pardo, Commissioner Gavela, Commissioner Rosado. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Over the last 16 years, as my brother and friend, Mayor Suarez, has been the mayor here in the city, I've come to the city, the great city of Miami, twice. Once for a piece of legislation that I thank Vice Chairman Carollo for helping me out with, which was stopping hourly motels, which we took to the county and then we took to the state. And this is the second opportunity that I come to the city in 16 years. I want to make sure the Herald catches that. It's the Miami Loop. The Miami Loop is an incredible, potentially transformational project that I want to thank Commissioner Rosado for allowing me the privilege to be here. This is a project and a concept that it's a once-in-a-generational opportunity to connect our neighborhoods, parks, waterfront, civic spaces, and individual municipalities in a continuous world-class system. This will connect the city of Miami with the city of Coral Gables. A completed loop will transform mobility in the city of Miami and across the county, making it easier and safer for residents to walk, bike, or roll across Miami while reducing congestion and emission. As you're aware, in the city of Miami and the city of Coral Gables, along with our friends in South Miami, we've partnered with the Underline. This is a game changer. You add the Miami Loop into the mix, we're world-class. The Loop also addresses equity. It connects underserved neighborhoods to opportunity jobs and recreation, ensuring that every community has access to safe and green mobility options. Miami must take the lead, like it did with the Underline, not follow, because if the city of Miami doesn't coordinate and push forward, the vision risks being delayed or fragmented. I want to thank you for allowing me the privilege to be here. I know you have a long agenda. God bless all of you, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Marcos Loureiro. I live on 600 Northeast 27th Street. Good morning, Chairwoman. Good morning, distinguished commissioners and officials. I'm here for 4 topics that I would like out of the 83 pages. Number 1 is GI 5, Bay Walk completion. We are fighting for the Bay Walk construction, and there is no required funding, but I want to support this today. Number 2 is RE2. The city clerk is early voting. I strongly recommend to go forward to that as well. This requires a vote. Number 3 is the Biscayne, the RE5, Biscayne Bay Water Quality Grant, which is accepting $900,000, and this will enhance environment protection, sustainability, and water quality in Biscayne Bay. No-brainer as well. And the last one is the FR8. This is something very new. It's the first reading. It's related to Airbnbs or short rentals. This is an issue in Edgewater that brings a lot of issues with security, and I think it's something that you guys should think about it and vote for. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Chaplain Stanley Young, Team Freedom,
500 Northwest 2nd Avenue. I'm here to stand before you to congratulate you and thank you, Chairwoman, all our commissioners who serve this great city. We have a organization, Team Freedom, that walks the streets here in Miami, in the city of Miami. We are very for your CBGs, your grants that you afforded. Organizations like myself that intersect the homeless and talk with the homeless, try to get them into the shelters, try to get them into treatment centers, try to give them help. I have reached out to each one of these districts. I serve the entire city of Miami. I don't just go by just district. Anyone that needs my help, they will get my help no matter which district they are in. I want to thank Commissioner Portillo. He's the only one that really reached out to me to ask me and to share with me the things that I'm doing in the city to help alleviate the poverty, to help alleviate homelessness, and to help those that are coming out of prisons and jails that really need our help. And that's why I came here today to share with the commissioners in the city of Miami. We still need your help on our streets. We still need your help and your support. For us, I know there's been some budget cuts, but, you know, the homeless, they don't deserve another cut in any direction. And if you need me, call me. I'll be gladly to help in your district, to help and assist you with the homeless, those that are coming out of prisons and jails. Thank you, staff of the city of Miami, for all you're doing. God bless.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioner. My name is Dr. Jeff Dorfman. I speak in favor of RE 22. I would like to first thank Commissioner Gabella for bringing this to the agenda. I personally attended the DDA meeting last month where I was proud to participate and hear Commissioners Rosado and Pardo speak at that event. Thank you, gentlemen, all of you for that. I also heard Mr. Carollo speak for 9 minutes at that event, complaining about what he described as the DDA tax, which many of us, including myself, are in favor of DDA. So I don't understand why the city needs to pay a Carollo tax for continuing legal fees for someone who has, I understand, has been found guilty already. So, Commissioner King, is there any reason in your mind that the city of Miami and the citizens need to continue paying a Carollo tax?
We will address this when the item comes up. If you're still here, you'll hear all of us opine on that item. But we're not going to, we don't typically respond to public commenters, so because you asked me specifically, but we will all opine at the appropriate time. But thank you.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Ulyss Cleckley, CEO of Friends of the Underline at 1800 Southwest 1st Avenue, 33130. Good morning, Madam Woman, Commissioner King and Chairwoman King, as well as Commissioner Rosado and the rest of the City of Miami Commission. I represent the Underline, and as Mayor Lago may mention, the Underline is something that is a significant project and a fantastic asset for the City of Miami. It's a 10-mile urban park and linear trail, but it's more than that. We help support business and workforce development, education and recreation, arts and culture, nature and resiliency, and health and wellness. And so the ability for the Underline to be built is a fantastic model that goes in concert with the expansion of the Miami Loop. So we're very much in support of RE14, and we will be in a position to be able to support in any way possible to make this fantastic network of greenways and trails to come to reality here that will connect not only the city of Miami to Coral Gables, but quite frankly, connect the entirety of Miami-Dade County. So we're here to support RE14. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning. Hi.
Good morning. My name is Meg Daly, and I'm founder of Friends of the Underline at 1800 Southwest 1st Avenue in Miami. Thank you, Chairwoman King and Commissioners, for giving us the opportunity to speak in favor of RE14, sponsored by Commissioner Rosado, regarding the Miami Loop, which connects the underline. And I want to pause and thank each of you for supporting this project over the past decade. So, shouting out to you for the support of the underline, but also the connection to the Ludlam Trail and the Miami River Greenway. Zooming out, that's 22 miles of connected places for people to walk and bike and also get mass transit, public parks, and be next to each other. And we have always viewed the underline as sort of the spine of this system, and I think that this resolution forces us to think of a network and not projects. So we really look forward to the opportunity of having a seat at the table, at this round table. Thank you for your leadership, Commissioner Rosado, in bringing us all together, convening us, making a more connected Miami. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. City Clerk, would you please add me as a sponsor for RE14 as well?
I'd like to be added on that one as well.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to follow the rules here by stating my name and address. So my name's Julio Ruwaina from the City of South Miami. Address is City of South Miami. Anyway, good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, City Manager, City Clerk, City Attorney. I'm actually here because I'm really happy with some great news that was shared with me on a project that we started in South Miami back in 2001, which is the Ludlam Trail. First linear park that hopefully will come into fruition. And I got very good news from Commissioner Rosado. I want to thank you, sir, for taking this up, revitalizing it, bringing it back to life. It's been 24 years, and we still, believe it or not, are on target to be able to make this a reality. And I know that I look forward to working with you and the whole group. There's so many people behind this. These are the things that make this community great. These kind of projects where we all can gather around. It doesn't matter whether you're in South Miami, Coral Gables, City of Miami. Wonderful project. So again, I look forward to working with you, Commissioner, and thank you for bringing that forward. I also need to thank the new Miami-Dade County Commissioner, Natalie Emiliano-Orbis, which is also now picking it up on the county side, because we do need the support of the county and the city. And finally, I need to thank former Commissioner Rebecca Sosa for all the years that she kept running with this. And finally, I'll leave with this. Commissioner, I also look forward to working with you on condominium issues. As you know, in Florida, I pretty much rewrote all the laws for condos. And condominiums are in really needy situation for funding and all kinds of problems. I'm here, but I'll be working with Commissioner Rosado. And I thank you all for the 2 minutes and 30 seconds that I went over. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I'll be quick. Good morning, Frankie Ruiz, 3575 West Glencoe Street, longtime Miami resident, as co-founder of the Lifetime Miami Marathon, co-founder of the Friends of the Ludlam Trail, and being involved with Underline, Commodore Trail, Riverwalk, and numerous other trails around the city. I want to express my support for the Miami Loop. I believe this project helps us connect the dots between the number of disjointed trails and neighborhoods. I urge you to support the RE14 for the Miami Loop. Thank you for considering this project. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Good morning. Brenda Betancourt, 1436 Southwest 6th Street, in support of RE5, the Biscayne Bay, super important for our environment, and supporters RE12. Commissioner Rosado spoke about it the other day in Shenandoah Homeowner Association about to reduce the permit fees for homeowners, homestead who wants to try to get permit or renovate or legalize anything in their house. I think it's super important. That way we don't penalize homeowners about any of those things that they need to legalize in their homes. RE14, supporting Accepting for the Loop, I think underlying is important. And we need to just try to make sure that they don't cut all the trees, because that's something they've been doing in the past couple of years. RE15, I just have a question for the noise or waiver for the Wynwood area. Is that going to be all year, or is going to be just for a specific event, since it's very specific all the way to 4 o'clock in the morning? RE 18, of course, elections need to be approved, and hopefully everything will be moving forward. In support of CA 6, FDOT has promised for the past 20 years in working and with them for everything that has to be the expansion. Thank God they're not going to take the parking in 8th Street, which we've been fighting for the past 20 years, and District 6 of FDOT, thank God, have listened to us. Our complaint as business owners, they don't want to lose the only parking spaces that they have in front of their businesses. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman, Commissioners, Mr. Manager, City Attorney, and Clerk. My name is Silvio Pupo. I'm a resident here in Miami. I'm also an appointee on a few committees like the Climate Resilience Committee. Thank you so much for your attention today. I think today I want to focus my comments on the budget, very much like a triathlon. It requires a lot of endurance, a lot of strategy, and a cafecito break here and there. My mission, I think, is quite clear. I want to help Miami be a global resilience and innovation hub. We already received the U.S. Economic Development Agency Resilience Tech Hub designation. Let's do something with that. Today's decision shapes our environment, our culture, our infrastructure, and the economy. The agenda items I'd like to touch on are the capital plan, BH18, particularly considering things like digital twins, marine drones, cleaning drones, and aerial as critical infrastructure, not experiments, that helps us save money and unlock grants. Budget BH20, innovation and resilience, I think should be line items, quite specifically for implementation of these solutions. Things like the marine drone, for example, in the Biscayne Bay Management Trust can help clean up the bay and the marinas, as well as support marine patrol with better safety and insights. Things like the Miamiverse could support efficient planning, housing, and savings on electricity. Citizen science and arts is another thing that is very passionate, and I think could be addressed with the different business improvement districts and DDA. And lastly, I would say for every dollar you invest in a pilot, you might be able to get $3 to $5 in return, not just in savings, but also in additional grants. So we didn't invent the cafecito, but let's invent a sustainable, resilient future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Seeing no one else for public comment, the public comment period is now closed. At this time, gentlemen, may I have a motion for AM 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? Those are the City Commission meeting minutes.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Gentlemen, of the CA items, are there any items that you would like to pull for discussion? We have CA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to consider. Are any of those items? No for Commissioner Pardo.
And my apologies, Chair, briefly. CA 6 will need to be amended. Amend the title of the legislation to add directing the city clerk to transmit a copy of this resolution to the Florida Department of Transportation District 6 and to amend Section 4 of the resolution to read the same. That's CA 6 as amended.
Thank you, Mr. City Clerk. Commissioner Rosado, do you want to pull any of the CA items for discussion?
None of the CA items. Are we also covering the other sections?
No. We're just on the CAs.
Okay. No.
Vice Chair? None. So may I have
Second.
I have a motion and a second for CA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as amended, 7, 8, 9. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. We are now on the PH items, gentlemen. Are there any items that you would like to pull from this group for discussion? Remember, PH 4 and 5. 4 has been withdrawn and 5 has been deferred until September 25th. Any items you'd like to pull for discussion? And PH1 is as amended in PH. That's it, right? Mr. City Clerk, PH1 as amended.
The title of PH1 is amended to remove interest earned and replace it with sales proceeds, just
Correct.
for the record.
Anyone want to pull for discussion?
No, I'm ready for a motion.
I have a motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Okay, now we are on the resolution items. Gentlemen, are there any items from our resolutions that go, I'm going to read them for you. RE 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, or 26. Any of these items you would like to pull for discussion? Commissioner Rosado?
I would like to pull my item RE14.
Okay, RE14. Hold on one second. Anything else? Commissioner Rosado? No. Commissioner Pardo?
Nope.
Commissioner Gabella?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just defer RE8.
I need a motion to defer RE8.
Motion.
Chairwoman,
Yes.
at the last commission meeting, you mentioned if items were on for a number of meetings, you might institute a rule so that they disappear.
That was for discussion items.
Okay.
That was for discussion items.
I was just
And
wondering.
I'll have my updated memo to all of you. What I realized when we had our last meeting, the new commissioners, Commissioner Pardo and Commissioner Gabella, had not received the chair memo because you guys came in, midway. And when I did the chair memo, everyone that was here, received it. And Commissioner Rosado has not received it. So the updated memo will be distributed this afternoon for you.
And my apologies, Chair. Commissioner Gabella, RE8, what meeting would you like to defer that to?
RE8 is mine, and I'd like to defer that.
To
I don't
what
wanna
date?
get-
To what date, Commissioner?
To the next commission meeting.
September 25th?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so may I have a motion
Motion.
and a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item has been deferred to September 25th. Any other items that will be pulled for discussion? Vice Chair? City Clerk? Okay.
There are a few amendments for the RE items. RE13 will need to be amended to change Vicente Eduardo Cruz Way to Eduardo Valdi Cruz Way. RE14 will be amended to change Be It Ordained to Be It Resolved. RE18 will be amended to substitute Exhibit A with an updated map.
Okay.
Chairwoman, while that's being done, if I could take a quick moment of privilege to acknowledge former County Commissioner Rebecca Sosa. I know that Rebecca was here to speak during public comment about the Ludlam Trail and the Miami Loop. She is very much in support of it. She and former South Miami Mayor Julio Robina, who just left the building, I've known them for several decades, and they are essentially the founders of the Ludlam Trail. So I want to acknowledge all her work on that. She's in fact wearing a Ludlam Trail t-shirt. And so I want to thank them for that, and I want to thank them for their support of a concept that in fact they came up with many decades ago.
Would you like to speak? Please, yes. Commissioner Sosa served while I was a Miami-Dade County employee.
Good morning, Chairwoman.
Good morning.
Commissioners, what a pleasure. Thank you, Commissioner Rosado. And I hope that this t-shirt brings you memories that are so important. And I'm going to go very fast. Thank you for bringing Ludlam Trail to the attention of everyone, including the county. Because when I left with all the plans done, with the money to build the bridges and everything. And I don't know what happened, that it got delayed. So now we have more strength to fight for it. And I'll be here to support you, and Natalie is in favor also, and everyone. So thank you very, very much for giving me this opportunity, and I will be there next to you to support it. And to all of you also, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for your advocacy, your
It was
continued
a
advocacy.
pleasure to be here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice Chair, do you have any items that you would like to pull for discussion?
Madam Chairman, I believe there's one item here that the city attorney requested that I would abstain from it. So
I believe,
think
yeah,
we should-
RE22 is an
Correct.
item that you should not be voting on.
So I will vote on the others, and I will step out on item 22 so you all can decide it.
Okay, I'm going to pull 22 for discussion. All right.
I will make a motion then for the rest of the items in our E that have not either been deferred or withdrawn.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Okay, I'm sorry, what's the motion for?
For all the rest of the items except for the two that were pulled.
Right, RE 21 and 22, that's going to be separate. We'll discuss that, right?
Well, 21 was deferred until
Right,
9/25.
yes, that's correct. So 22.
RE 14 and 22 have been pulled for discussion.
RE 14
Uh-huh.
and 22. Okay,
Uh-huh.
got it.
So the rest are in play. So I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. I have a motion and a second for RE 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 13 as amended, 14 with the additional co-sponsors.
14 was pulled.
Oh, I'm sorry, 14 was pulled. 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, and 26. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Commissioner Rosado, you pulled RE 14 for
Yes.
discussion?
We're going to go ahead and discuss it. I know that we have a graphic that we can put up on the screen.
IT is coming out right now. IT is coming out.
Okay, perfect. Yes, commissioners and members of the public, you've heard several people speak about the Miami Loop, and so we wanted to explain what that is. It's not something that I conceived. There were several people much smarter than me that had recognized that there is a way to connect a variety of major recreational trails and amenities that are in and of themselves pretty world class. But what we have is the opportunity to actually physically connect them if we're able to coordinate. And so this is what we're referring to. Chris, if you go to the second image. There we go. Actually, go to the last one, and then we'll come back up to this one. So you had Meg Daly from the Underline speaking about her vision and that project. You had several folks speaking about Ludlam Trail, and then in addition, you also have the old Cutler Trail, you've got Commodore Trail, you have the Graham Greenway and connections to the Venetian and some potential connections, enhancements, I would say, going towards Key Biscayne. And so you could see each of those individually here, but if you go up one, you can see that they actually form essentially what a number of folks have termed the Miami Loop. And that goes through each of our 5 commission districts, and that's pretty spectacular and unusual in and of itself. But it also connects us to the neighboring cities of Coral Gables and West Miami and South Miami and Key Biscayne as well. And so my request today is for the administration to really sort of help take a leadership role with our individual advocacy and ensure that each of those segments moves forward more expeditiously, and also that Miami does a coordinating role to figure out any segments, including that jagged line towards the top left, which is in the perimeter road area, so that a more defined and safer route is finished, so that each of these things is connected. Overall, and there is a Miami Loop website which has been up for some time, but I think it's gone under the radar quite a bit. We're talking about over 225 miles of trails throughout Miami-Dade County, with the city of Miami very much being the heart of it. So it would be my honor to work with each of you on this to get your individual segments completed, and certainly to be able to provide this amenity for our broader community. I think it's an attraction. It's something that's very much been under discussion for a couple of decades, and I think we have the opportunity to really, really move this forward with your support and your leadership.
Thank you. Commissioner Pardo?
Yeah, I really want to commend you. I think this is great. We need more of this. I didn't see in the index, but you did mention Commodore Trail. Is that included or not? Because we're working on that. We want to make sure that we do as much as possible to connect that.
Absolutely. And so we've got actually itemized here. This is from the website. And you're right, it's not, I've been always mentioning it, but you're right, it needs to be made more specific in this as well. So we'll make sure to get the folks that originated this to do that.
Absolutely. I want to make sure to connect the leadership and make sure we connect Commodore Trail. I think it makes all the sense in the world. Thank you for doing this. This is really good.
And thank you both for co-sponsoring.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It requires... We can do 3 on this, but I think everybody would want to vote positively on this. So maybe we wait a second. Let's just wait a second and maybe we can get Commissioner Carollo to come back out. I believe he would vote for this. If Mr. City Clerk, you could check just to vote on RE14.
Chair, while we're waiting, we do have pocket item 1, Commissioner Rosado's pocket resolution, if you'd like to address that issue. It's
read the title for the record.
I'll go ahead and do it for you,
Okay.
Todd. Feeling generous today. Yes. A resolution of the Miami City Commission authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute a purchase and sale agreement in a form acceptable to the city attorney between the City of Miami and Coral Group Property Advisors, Inc., seller, for the acquisition of real property identified as folio number 01410-4103-033-2620 and 01410-033-2625, located at 235 Northwest 26th Avenue, Miami, Florida, collectively the property, for a purchase price of $1,072,000, further authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute an assignment and assumption agreement, or lease agreement, in a form acceptable to the city attorney between the city and seller's existing tenant, L&R Structural Corp., Inc., for use of the property, tenant, further authorizing the city manager to negotiate and execute all necessary documents, including amendments and modifications to said agreement, assignment, and lease, in a form acceptable to the city attorney as may be necessary to effectuate said acquisition. Funding for the acquisition shall not exceed $1,105,000, with funds being allocated, appropriated, and awarded from the District 4 Park Enhancements and Expansion Capital Project 40B243516, using Miami Forever Bond Series 2024A tax-exempt bond issuance to cover the cost of said acquisition, inclusive of the cost of surveys, environmental reports, title insurance, securing the property, project signage, and all related closing costs associated with said acquisition in accordance with the terms and conditions of the agreement. That concludes the title.
Thank you. While we wait, would you please read the title for second reading ordinance?
Yes, Madam Chair. Second reading ordinance. SR1, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 55, Section 55-10 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended City Code, titled Building Permits, Issuance, Restrictions, Exceptions, to allow for temporary construction and temporary activations on unplatted or platted land that has not been subdivided pursuant to Chapter 55 of the City Code, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date.
Can carry on to the first
readings? Yes, ma'am. FR1 was withdrawn. FR2, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 2, Article 2, Section 2-32 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended City Code, titled Time and Place of Meeting, to permit cancellation of City Commission meetings by specified elected officials with advance written notice to the City Clerk, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. And this one will be modified to include the chairperson as one of those designated individuals to cancel a meeting. FR4, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 36, Section 36-4 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Noise Operation of Radios, Phonographs, or Other Sound-Making Devices, Bands, Orchestras, and Musicians generally, and Chapter 36, Section 36-5 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Noise, Same, Hours of Operation of Jukeboxes, Radios, etc., Exemption for Events on City-Owned Property, Relaxation, to create a pilot program for the Overtown Entertainment District using decibel reading with a base dBc of 68, creating scaled violations and required open-air venue noise attenuation devices, containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. FR5, first reading, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission replacing Section 62-2.2 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Independent Feasibility and Economic Impact Studies, providing for the treatment of pending applications, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. FR6, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending Chapter 18, Article 4 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended City Code, titled Finance Grants, more specifically by amending Section 18-139, titled Anti-Poverty Initiative, established to expand the eligible use of Anti-Poverty Initiative API funds by City of Miami city departments, further ensuring that said amendment is incorporated into all API applications and funding request forms going forward, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. FR7, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 2, Article 6 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, City Code, titled Administration Lobbyists, to amend applicability, definitions, registrations, and disclosure requirements and penalties for violations to clarify ambiguous language, add exceptions, and align said provisions with the applicable laws governing lobbyist activities, containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. FR8, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 54, Article 2, Section 54-42 of the Code of the City of Miami, as amended, titled Streets and Sidewalks, Construction, Excavation, and Repair, Permit Required for Disturbing, Cutting into, Digging up, Drilling, Boring, Under, or Excavating any public street, swale, or sidewalk, cost of restoration, obstruction of right-of-way, to provide for right-of-way restoration requirements, containing a severability clause and providing for an immediate effective date. And finally, FR9, first reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending Chapter 31, Article 2, Section 31-51 of the Code of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, titled Local Business Tax and Miscellaneous Business Regulations, Local Business Tax, BTR, Food Trucks Operating on Private Land, to amend distance separation requirements for food truck activity and to update this section to comply with new City Code Chapter 52 for special events, containing a severability clause and providing for immediate effective date. That concludes the first reading ordinances.
Thank you. Gentlemen, may I have a motion for RE4? I have a motion for RE14. May I have a second?
Second.
Wait a minute. We can't take this vote without the sponsor.
Yeah.
Okay. May I have a motion And the pocket item is his as well. Well, I don't know if some will be pulled. Does anyone want to pull SR1 for discussion?
Nope.
Commissioner Gabella?
What? Sorry.
SR1, would you like to pull that for discussion?
SR1.
No? That's the only SR item we have.
No, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay. So let's vote on that one. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carries. Are there... Where'd he go? No, here he is. Here he is. I have a motion and a second for RE 14. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that's as amended?
As amended. With the co-sponsors as well.
Yeah, and what, I'm sorry, I was out to the,
That was RE 14.
no, what exactly did that entail briefly?
Miami Loop.
Right, and what are we
It's
doing?
connecting, there's a
No,
graphic
no,
that we
I
can
know that, I heard
circulate.
that, but what are we doing, a study?
No, it's assigning a staff person and helping to expedite each of the projects. We're the center of it, so we should be helping to coordinate. Some of these have had lots of starts and stops.
Okay, thank you.
May I have a motion for pocket item 1?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Pocket item 1 passes, and now we are on RE 22.
That's me.
Vice Chair. Okay. I believe that the City Attorney's Office has a statement to make.
Well, what we have said and continue to say is that, there's any number of metaphors, but for the grace of God, there go I, or what's good for the goose is good for the gander. This is certainly a policy decision that the City Commission can make, and I'll let the Commissioner argue for why he thinks it's a good policy or bad policy, but we just wanted to explain to you that, that this could have precedential effect. Currently, the position of the city is that if someone sues a sitting elected official or appointed official or employee, we will represent them, and we will continue to represent them until the case is disposed of. And so the case law is relatively clear that we may pay in advance for this defense. I don't know if there is any case law that says whether we can stop the payment. So in all likelihood, if we move forward with this item, there may or may not be some action filed by the person receiving the attorney's fees. And we honestly don't know what the courts would decide in that. The state statute says that it's discretionary. However, there is a Florida Supreme Court decision in other cases, the Thornburg decision, et cetera, that say the defense of elected officials is part of the common law, and it's there to prevent you all from being sued and fearing being sued. It gives you the confidence that you can make decisions without the threat of lawsuit by a disgruntled citizen or whatnot. So I just wanted to throw that out there. You can vote on it. And for the record, Commissioner Carollo has declared he had a voting conflict on this item and is not participating. And I'll turn to Mr. Jones to see if I missed anything.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the Commission. I just want to echo City Attorney Whitesong's comments. Also, I just want to give a sort of an admonition that...
Wait, hold on a second. Attorney Jones, can you give this to us in plain language? Because George, respectfully, you said yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. I'm not sure. Be clear about how you're advising us because of the ramifications. Each one of us received a letter, very well written, with case law, assuring that if this action is taken, because it's premature, not that we can't do it, because we can do most things like extend, change the election date to another time, and the court said, no, you can't. I don't want to be caught in a scenario like that. And again, we take actions and it has consequences that don't have a name to them. So please, in your explanation or advice to us, be clear. I believe Commissioner Gabella.
Can I just weigh in real quick before Kevin starts? And this real quick. The intention here is not to prevent Commissioner Carollo from having his day in court. The intention here is to do it the other way around. Like, for example, what was done with Diaz de la Portilla. Example, in this case, Mr. Carollo went to trial, he lost. He went to appeal, he lost that. They're on appeal on that appeal, which you guys call it still the same appeal, I understand, but it's, to me, it's 3 times. Okay, and that one, on this one, it's kind of hard for him to win again. But I hope he gets his day in court, and nobody wants to take his right away. All we're saying is, if you want to do it, you want to proceed, you go ahead and pay with it with your own money, but not the taxpayer money. Because here's the thing, a long time ago, I think a judge ruled that he didn't have qualified immunity. That, in other words, he was acting on a personal, in a personal capacity. Okay, and all we're saying is, if he prevails in this third appeal, or I'm sorry, second appeal, then we will have to reimburse him, okay, because he won. But for the time being, I am sick and tired of spending millions of dollars, in the millions, to pay for a defense. And I understand what you're saying, if one of us gets in trouble. But I mean, something like this hasn't happened, I understand, in the city of Miami. Not ever. I mean, you're not in trouble, I'm not in trouble, Rosado just came in, and Pardo has been here the same time as I have. So, I think enough is enough. And again, I don't want to take the commissioner's right away. I think he should have his day in court. This is not what this is about. But we're already tired of paying into the millions of outside counsel of legal fees, and the public, I think, demands it. We have a fiduciary duty to take care of the purse strings, the public's money. After all, these walls at City Hall, and where we sit on, this is paid by you and me and the public, okay? And they have a right, when we're going to spend, because if this had just started yesterday, I understand. But this has been ongoing now for a couple of years, and we're into the millions of dollars, folks, between settlements and what has to do with the Carollo case versus Fuller and the rest of them. We're talking 27, 30 mil up to now between settlements and between legal fees. Now, if my colleagues do not want to go along with this, I understand, and I will respect that. Okay, I will respect that. And if you want to have a workshop about it, of what our policy should be going forward, I am also open to that. But I want to be very clear. I do not want to impede on Mr. Carollo's rights. No way, no how. All I'm saying, let's do it in the reverse. What we've been doing is we've been paying for everything personal for him up to now, and he's lost 2 times. Very difficult. He's going to win this 3rd time. Very difficult. The odds are stacked against him, but let him have his day in court, but let him pay for it. And then if he prevails, we will reimburse him. But as it is now, we've been paying for his legal fees up to now. We're not going to reimburse, because if we, I retired RE 21, wasn't George? Because, really, if you do that and you pass that one, you're saying to him, okay, you got to pay us all the fees, but what are we going to collect really? We're going to collect a piece of paper, a judgment that really, it's like, so I'm saying let's stop the bleeding now. And if the gentleman, again, prevails, let him have his day in court. I do not want to take his right for him to, to have a fair trial. That's not what this is about. This is about taxpayer money footing that bill. So I leave it at that, and whatever my colleagues, want to do, I will go along. Thank you.
Do we want to hear from Attorney Jones first, or do you want to speak first, Commissioner Pardo?
I just want to say a couple of things first. I think, as we saw with moving the general election, there are interpretations, and there isn't a black and white. And some set of people will say, this is the way to go, it's totally legal, we can do this, until it hits some other level of appeal, and then we get something else. So as far as this is concerned, I think it's just kind of a moral decision, at least for me, in terms of I don't really think taxpayers should continue this fight. He lost at the first level, lost on appeal, and now this is a rehearing en banc, correct? So it's not likely, as Commissioner Gabella pointed out, that this will succeed, but he should have his day in court. The taxpayers shouldn't pay for it. Well,
again, my argument is faceless. This is not about any particular individual. The taxpayers could and have made the same argument for us challenging the court's decision on us trying to align the election to even-numbered years. The court said no. We went back. The court said no. We went back again. And the court said no again on the taxpayer's dollar. So for me, it is faceless. The case is not over. It is not about us here and not getting in trouble. This is about who comes before us. There have been commissioners that were sued prior to us, and a lot of cases go to the Supreme Court, and they prevail at the Supreme Court level. It is not over. Again, I'd like to hear from City Attorney Jones. To be clear, do you want to speak before or after? Attorney Jones?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Okay, so I want to highlight, I guess, one of the things you said that's important for your determination is that the case is not over. There has been no mandate issued by the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, and our understanding is that there will be an attempt to seek a rehearing en banc. So that's the first thing. I will address the other issues you brought up, but we're going to have to sort of thread the needle because the letter you received is threatened litigation. I don't want to make any definitive comments about that, but I will try to answer your question and give you advice as best I can. All right, so as you pointed out, we have a history of defending politicians when they're sued, when they engage in the course and scope of their authority as politician that goes back as far as I've been here. That is what happened in this case. No different than the lawsuits that have preceded this one. So we do have a history of that. We have never in the past, in the middle of litigation before it is concluded, decided that we're just going to abandon the politician. That has never happened as far as the fees are concerned regarding the different litigation strategies. So what we're trying to do here is give you the legal aspect, but we understand that there's also a policy aspect to that. That's what City Attorney Whitesong was saying. From the legal perspective, we've never done what's about to happen, right? Or potentially about to happen, which is abandon the fees at this point before a mandate is issued. From a policy perspective, we've also never decided that we're going to stop paying for commissioner's defense at this level, at this point. I mean, there may come a point in time where you guys want to consider doing that, but certainly this is not a second appeal. This is still the first appeal where he's seeking a rehearing en banc. From a legal perspective, what we're trying to say is that you have the choice at the beginning of litigation. I think this is where I'm going to sort of weave in and out of this letter. At the beginning of litigation, you have a choice to either take it on or you have a choice to have people attempt to get reimbursed, as we could see in Commissioner Diaz de la Portilla's request for his legal fees. And you all were briefed on legal fees in another civil rights case we've handled. That didn't happen here. We didn't at the beginning choose to say, okay, you have to go get your lawyer, and if you win, we're obligated by law to reimburse you. And the important part about that, and the reason why we oftentimes take on the defense in advance, is because we can control fees. We can control how much lawyers get paid, right? If we do it at the end, as you have seen recently, the lawyers can ask for their reasonable rates in the community, and typically that's much higher than we can negotiate in advance. So coming back to this case, we didn't in the beginning tell him to go get his own counsel. We undertook the defense. Now, it has been a long case. It has, I think it was originated in 18, and now we're in 2025, so we're looking at 7 years of litigation, roughly. So I think the concern we have, Madam Chair, is we undertook to do something, and now before the case is over, we're potentially deciding to abandon that decision. And that's as far as I really want to go as far as that letter, because that letter is still in play, and we might have to do something with that, so I don't really want to make definitive decisions about that. Does that satisfy your answer, or do you need me to go a little bit further?
That satisfies my answer. I believe Commissioner Pardo would like to say something.
I just had a question, and there's outside counsel on this, correct?
Yeah, we don't handle the litigation.
It's all outside counsel.
It's all outside counsel.
And has there been an attempt for mediation? Is a mediator assigned?
I would have to, again, since we're conflicted, we don't do or participate in the day-to-day decisions, but we can reach out and ask. Usually at appellate mediation, there is an obligation to mediate in federal court, so I can reach out and ask what the situation
I would
is
appreciate
there.
that.
Okay.
But wait a minute. In
Commissioner,
this
go ahead.
case, he's not. There's no mediation because he wants what he wants is to prevail.
Yeah, but we don't know that. We don't.
No, but I mean, what settlement are you going to have? There is no settlement in this case. Think about it. Either he wins on right. I mean, this
To
is not,
your point, I mean, they have a
we're not
$63
settling
million
here.
verdict, so I mean,
Yeah, this
what
is
are
not
we
a
gonna?
settlement case. We're not settling here. This is either he wins, he gets the appeal and then he wins the second trial, right? That's what he's asking for. He doesn't, but this is not a settlement where let's end it here and I'm going to give you so much or vice versa. That's what I'm. Let me ask you a
I
question.
was just
Kevin.
curious if we were taking a direction that was
Yeah.
different from what was being with the outside counsel.
We don't make those decisions, but I can inquire if you'd like.
Now, but by the same token, I was also threatened with a letter. I received that letter. Okay, and I take that seriously in the sense that I don't want to cause the city money. Okay, I do not want to cause on my behalf the city money, not if I can help it. Let me ask you a question, Kevin. And I think I asked this question before, but I want the public to know. If you should continue and we should pay for his appeal, how much in dollar terms is that appeal? What does that look like? 400,000, 500,000, another $1 million? What does that look like?
Okay, so, and I'm speculating here. I'm giving you my best speculation because you're asking me about things that haven't occurred.
No, ballpark.
Okay.
Ballpark.
So what remains in this case is the petition for rehearing en banc at the 11th. I can't imagine that being financially significant because the arguments have already been made. If it's granted, you're just going to go back and make the argument in front of the entire panel, and then they're going to do whatever they're going to do. The next significant point in this litigation would be if a mandate's issued from the 11th Circuit, and then there's a petition to seek Supreme Court review. That is where you may accrue significant legal cost. And, every lawyer is different in community, but certainly a lawyer who has experience and is Supreme Court certified is going to command a substantial hourly rate. I think we talked about potentially in the neighborhood of $1,200 to $1,500. Some lawyers charge more, right? And so now you're talking about a briefing, you're talking about first a petition, and then you're going to talk about the briefing, and then you're going to talk about the oral arguments. Maybe 200 hours, I think is what we said.
So you're talking minimum a couple of $100,000.
That's probably right to go to the Supreme Court.
And here's the thing with me, at least with me. What I'm not comfortable with, every time I sit down in a shame meeting, without talking about the shame meeting, without compromising the shame meeting, there's going to be, somebody's going to prevail. And that hasn't happened. And so at some point you draw the line and you cut your losses. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm referring to. You know what I mean? This can cost, a lot of money. And listen, again, sincerely, I want the man to get his day in trial. He's entitled to it, just like everybody is. I just don't want the taxpayer to be footing the bill. And what I'm saying is, if he wins, great. We got to reimburse him to the last penny of what he spent and let him do it on his own dime. There have been people here that have been, Diaz La Portilla, for example, I think he took money from his PAC to defend his legal fees. He's got a PAC. He's got almost $2-3 million. Instead of spending money, Mr. Carrillo is spending money on preferring to stack this dice with people that are for him. Maybe he can spend some of that money and not ask the taxpayer to spend that money. Maybe he can use some of that money that he's got in his PAC. Okay, instead of for politics, he can use it to defend his lawsuit. And then at the end, if he prevails, then we go ahead and reimburse him. Nothing lost. He's got money in his PAC. Let him pay it from the PAC. I'm tired personally, really, of paying, on behalf of the taxpayer and having to sit through here. Since I've been here, this has been an issue. I've been here almost more than a year and a half. Commissioner Pardo has too, and I think we're tired of this, honestly. At some point, it has to come to a stop. And I repeat, if somebody has to, if you guys want to have a workshop to decide policy on this, I think this is very important, and we should decide policy on this at some point in the future where we don't get left out on the cold. I'll end it with this, where we don't get left out on the cold if somebody's using, because anybody can sue us, but at the same time, there's got to be a threshold. And when you meet that threshold, like an insurance company, what do they say? There's a cap. I'm going to insure you for, let's say, like what happened. We were insured by the insurance company, and now, some of us don't have insurance because the insurance company decided, I see your face. without getting into details, my point is...
Well, our premium won't way up.
Exactly. So the insurance company has a threshold. Everybody has a threshold. We should also have a threshold, whatever we establish that to be. I end it there.
Maybe there's an opportunity to defer this to the next meeting and give us a little bit more time. Commissioner, I don't know how you...
Absolutely. If you guys want to defer this to the next meeting, whatever my colleagues want.
Okay, I just want to say one thing where you're making great arguments. My issue is that this isn't, like Attorney Jones said, a decision that we made beforehand. We said we're going to defend this, we, the city, right? Just like, let's hope not, but pursuant to the letter, if we take this position, we have to defend you. So are we going to pay your legal fees? Because we're being advised that this is premature, that we did this action, it's not finished, whatever. So,
but nobody's telling him. Nobody's telling him.
I understand.
But nobody's telling him don't go and listen. Don't defend yourself.
Right.
What we're saying is go do it, but pay it for yourself.
But let me finish.
I'm sorry.
We didn't. If we had said that from the beginning, fine. Like if we move forward with this, and those who vote in favor of it are then sued. You were acting in your official capacity as commissioners. So you have a right for the city to represent you. But we also have a right to say, we saw this coming, so maybe you pay your own legal fees. And that's something that I'm not willing to do. This does not have a face for me. This is for commissioners forever to come. You cannot be afraid to take an action as an elected official because you're uncertain whether the city is going to represent you or not, because this is our job.
That is true, but here's the thing. I don't go out at 1 o'clock in the morning, okay, and I don't go out of my way, and you know what, I'm not even going to do it. Let me say this. Let me say this without even going there. Let me say this. In your opinion, George, if I take a vote on this, will I be sued as a commissioner? We're as legislators here sometimes, okay, is what we're doing. Okay, all I'm trying to do is what I said. This is not, by any means, this is just taking care of the people's money, okay? And this is the way, that I think, it has to be, at some point done to talk about it. And, if we don't talk about it, we keep, kicking the can down the road. Somebody's going to have to deal with it sooner or later. Now, you guys said yourself that this is an extraordinary case, that this has not happened in the past. It's only happened with this gentleman. That's what you guys said to me. So it's not a daily, yearly, decade occurrence. It's once in, I don't know, every 50 years or 100 years. And that's my point. That's my point. See what I'm doing? You're right. They're threatening me with a lawsuit. And I'm asking, I'm not going and saying I'm going to do it anyway because I'm going to do it. No, I'm asking you the question. Okay, if I proceed, am I putting myself in legal jeopardy?
Yeah, and let me just say that regarding the question, can you be sued? Yes, anybody with $410 can file a lawsuit, right? Then the next question is, do you have risk? Would they prevail? There's a whole bunch of factors that would come into play. We believe you would have legislative immunity. However, they might allege that this is personal because of some comments that you've made in the past or something like that. So we cannot predict what would happen. What we can tell you is that if you were sued, we would defend you and make all those arguments.
Okay, but let's distinguish personal. Personal, for example, is when he comes after me and my personal properties, without my properties being in the personal arena, because they are personal properties, they don't deal with the city of Miami, they have no business with the city of Miami, and that's personal, okay? This is not brought on by me. This was brought on by a group of gentlemen in A Street, as he calls them, the A Street boys. I respect them. I call them Mr. Fuller and Mr. Penilla and company. And this is how he got going down this road, okay? And so it's quite a different situation. I came in here and I'm dealt this hand, and so has he, okay? And so I'm not the one bringing on accusations against him. I'm not the one. No. I've been asked to sit in and say meetings to represent my district and the purse strings of my district and the city of Miami, okay? And that's what I've done. But I'm not the one that created this mess, okay? Nobody can say to me, this is not personal. This started with him and them, Okay, it's and a jury determined, not me, not Commissioner Pardo, not Commissioner Chairwoman King, and not Commissioner Rosado. A jury decided that he was, that they had found him guilty, not us. Okay, so I don't know where his attorney. I mean, it's a scare tactic. I understand. I know what they're doing. Okay, but I'm asking you, if I take a vote, yes or no, am I putting? Because I don't want to put the city, in spending. I don't want to go spend more, money in legal fees, which we could have spent for roads, for all kinds of things. Okay. That's what I'm about. So that argument that this is a personal thing, no. I'm not Fuller. I'm not Pinilla. I'm not any of those guys. And those are the guys that he has got a problem with, and they have a problem with him. Period. End of story. Thank you.
I think Commissioner Cabela asked a question, and then you, Commissioner Pardo.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that the way I see it, it really is a change in a legislative policy. And what we're really saying is, I think this has been the biggest judgment ever, right? We've had as the city of Miami. And what we're saying is, okay, you want to defend the commissioner, and you defended the commissioner. That commissioner lost in court. They had their day in court. Then they appealed it to the District Court of Appeals, and they lost at the District Court of Appeals. And what we're saying is, at that level, at the appellate level, we believe the taxpayer should no longer be paying. Let the individual pay, and if they prevail, then we would reimburse that money. And it's a protection for taxpayers.
Right. And just, we keep maintaining, and like with the election case, when you go on appeal, like this case went to the Circuit Court of Appeals for the 11th Judicial Circuit, it's still in that court. That court still has jurisdiction. So you may think it's a technical term, but we say he's still on his second appeal. And like when we appealed the decision of the 3rd District in the election case, that was still in the second or first tier review. So here, that case is still active. The 11th Circuit hasn't issued a mandate, and a mandate is when the court says, make it so, make it happen. That hasn't happened yet. So that is one of the points that Mr. Jones was saying. And so if what you're saying is at the conclusion of the 11th Circuit actions, you would say, or every commissioner gets the opportunity to have, themselves represented in a trial, and then the first tier review to the exhaustion of that, and then they're on their own for the second tier review. You could do that. I wouldn't recommend it personally, but if you have the opportunity to, and the other issue I just wanted to throw out there was, let's say, we don't know what might happen, let's say the 11th Circuit hears it and they determine that it's the trial court erred and it's sent back. But then we have this resolution saying seize all attorney's fees. What do we do at that point? He should be entitled to a retrial or rehearing. The problem with litigation is there's a lot of uncertainty with litigation. And to your question, Commissioner Cabela, could you be sued? Yes, you could be sued. Could they prevail? Yes, they could prevail. This area of the law is unclear, and it depends on how the case is pled. I don't want, but that is another case of where you should not be intimidated by a lawyer's letter telling you vote this way or else we're going to sue you. And if you know in the back of your mind that the city attorney is going to abandon you in those instances, that's sort of what's at stake here, and that's what we're cautioning you about. Is that
but
we
this
don't
is
want lawyers writing you letters.
If you were to spend money on me, on that, on what his attorney just the threatening letter, it wouldn't be in the millions, and you guys know that. Okay, this is the difference here, and here's the other difference, and that's why I retired RE 22 or 21, the one going back past, and I did the one post, the one going for the Y, because in the past we're not going to collect any money. I understand we're just going to get a piece of paper, but in the future, you just said it, we're going to be into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. If he loses that, we're not going to get that money back, and you guys know it. He's got PAC money, okay, which he uses to help political, allies, which is his right, okay? Not a problem with that. But you know what? Stop fleecing the taxpayer, and use that money, because we're talking about money. We're not talking about stopping him from doing what he needs to do for himself. Absolutely, he should do what he needs to do himself. It's his right as an American, But what I'm saying is we are tired, again, of paying, and where do we stop? He loses on the embankment thing, And what, we go to the Supreme Court, and you know full well the Supreme Court, you know, in all likelihood is not going to hear that case. The odds, I mean, like you said, anything can happen. So that's my point with all of this. But, you know, again, I yield to my colleagues, whatever they want to do, that's what I'm going to do.
Do you have anything?
Yes, I understand both sides of this argument, and I have respect for folks on both sides. I share the chairwoman's concerns about at some point this could be any of us. I heard a mention of a potential workshop and a deferral. I would be supportive of that. I am not sure that deferring it just to the next meeting allows us to actually do that with sufficient time. I'd like to see that happen, workshop and a deferral, perhaps to the first meeting in October. And in the meantime, I'm also going to be consulting attorneys that I know that have dealt with comparable matters. I respect the city attorney, but this is a very important decision that has ramifications potentially for all of us.
I am comfortable doing that if that's what this body wants to do.
Do I have a motion to defer?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
First meeting in October.
To the first meeting in October. What's the first meeting in October? October what?
11th, I think.
October 9th.
9th.
October 9th. Okay. We voted on SR1. Does anyone want to pull any of the first reading items, FR 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 for discussion? And FR 4 is going to be as amended as well as FR 5.
And FR2.
Oh, I'm sorry. And FR 2. I missed FR 2. Does anyone want to pull any of these first reading items for discussion?
I would like to indefinitely defer my item, which is FR8. I want to meet with some outside entities before bringing it back.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
FR8 is deferred until
Indefinitely.
indefinitely.
Yes.
Indefinitely deferred. Any of the items?
No, I'm brief. I'd like to discuss FR6 real quick, just to be clear that I think I asked a question in the briefing, but I just want to ask again.
Okay.
To the category.
Could you go see if Commissioner Correa is available? All right, so we're going to discuss FR6. Staff? Woohoo! Anybody awake there? Hi, good morning. I'd also like to say congratulations to our new CFO, Miss Erica Pasquale. Hi. I don't want to point this out too much, but women rule the city of Miami. Good morning.
Good morning. Lillian Blondet, Grants Administration.
I just wanted to ask you, just to clarify, I'm okay with it, but just I want to know, and I understand you guys haven't done this for quite time, but what you're doing is you're changing.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, so I've been briefed on this. I don't have a problem with it in general, but I just want to clarify again. What you're doing is you're expanding the category of what this money can be used for.
That is correct.
That is
We're
correct.
expanding the categories to allow funding to be allocated to city departments.
Okay.
And make it clear in the code.
Right, and I want to point out to my colleagues that this hasn't been done for quite some time. This is something that's being done now, but it hasn't been done ever, I think, right? That's what I was told in the briefing.
We've done the activities, but really we haven't done.
Changing the category. And
Oh, yeah, it's
expanding-
been done. It hasn't been before because it was codified, I think, a year and a half ago. So this is the first change to
I thought
the
that
APIs.
maybe we can get them to, as a body, get them to tweak it every so often, so we can, so the money that we can use in certain categories can expand a little bit, which is what is being done here for Commissioner Carollo. Sure. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. You know,
But typically, let me ask. Typically, whatever we designate our API funds for, irrespective of this expansion, it moves forward, correct? But it requires a 4/5 vote. So will this now?
No, but it's a changing. It's for example, let's say you have 5 things in that category that you can only use the money for, and this is adding something else to make it a little bit more.
we're adding that we can allocate funding
to a city department for housing and park initiatives,
Right, which is
including
fine,
purchasing
which is
land.
fine by me. I don't have a problem. Commissioner Carrillo needs it, not a problem for me. I just wanted to tell you that maybe we can do it in other areas so we have more flexibility to help more people, you know, because sometimes you look at a thing and you want to help somebody, but you can't do it because they don't fall into that categories, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to bring light to it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good.
All right, so
Thank you.
Understood. Thank
may
you.
I have a motion for FR 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9?
So moved.
Second.
With FR 2, 4, and 5 as amended.
FR 2, 4, and 5 as amended. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Mr. City Clerk, do we have any board appointments?
Yes, ma'am. BC1, Art and Public Places Board. Commissioner Pardo will be appointing Jacqueline Roche to a vacant alternate at-large seat.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
BC2, Arts and Entertainment Council. Commissioner Rosado will be appointing Lara Gallardo to his vacant seat.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
BC5, Climate Resilience Committee. Commissioner Rosado will be appointing Jenny Lee Molina to his vacant seat.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm sorry, is that 5-0?
It's 4-1.
4-1. Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure. My apologies. Okay, so again, BC5, Climate Resilience Committee, for the record, that was 4-1 with Commissioner Crowe voting no. BC6, Code Enforcement Board. Commissioner Rosado will be appointing Javier Rodriguez to his vacant seat.
Have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
BC8, Historic and Environmental Preservation Board. Commissioner Rosado will be appointing Elvis Fuentes to Category 8, the alternate historian or architectural historian category.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
BC9, Equal Opportunity Advisory Board. Commissioner Rosado will be appointing Boris Aguiar to his vacant seat.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
BC10, Finance Committee. City Manager Noriega will be appointing Munera Daniel.
Motion?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
BC11, LGBTQ Advisory Board. Commissioner Rosado will be reappointing Ariel Trueba.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
BC12, Miami Forever Bond Program Citizens Oversight Board. Commissioner Rosado will be appointing Luis Martinez.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
BC14, Urban Development Review Board. Commissioner Rosado will be appointing Manuel Gallardo to his vacant seat.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
BC15, Virginia Key Advisory Board. Commissioner Pardo will be reappointing Monty Traynor as an at-large member.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That concludes the boards and committees. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I'm going to go to the PZ items now. Mr. City Attorney, would you please read the titles into the record?
Yes, Madam Chair. PZ1, second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending ordinance number 10544 as amended the future land use map of the Miami Comprehensive Neighborhood Plan pursuant to small-scale amendment procedures subject to section 163.3187 Florida statutes by changing the future land use designation from duplex residential to public parks and recreation of the acreage described herein of real property at 3691 Southwest 1st Avenue, Miami, Florida, as more particularly described in the attached and incorporated Exhibit A, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. PZ2, second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission with attachments amending the zoning atlas of ordinance number 13114, the zoning code of the City of Miami, Florida as amended, Miami 21 Code, by changing the zoning classification from T3O, Suburban Transact Zone, Open, to CS, Civic Space Transact Zone, for the property generally located at 3691 Southwest 1 Avenue, Miami, Florida, as more particularly described in the attached and incorporated Exhibit A, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. PZ3, second reading ordinance, an ordinance of the Miami City Commission amending ordinance number 13114, the zoning ordinance of the City of Miami, Florida, as amended, Miami 21 Code, specifically by amending Article 3, Section 3.16 of the Miami 21 Code, titled Workforce Housing Special Benefit Program Supplemental Regulations, to introduce a new workforce housing program within the City of Miami, making findings containing a severability clause and providing for an effective date. PZ4 is a resolution, and that concludes the PZ items.
I would like to defer PZ4 to the 9:25 meeting. May I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Would you like to pull any items, gentlemen, from the PZ 1, 2, or 3? Anybody? Nope. May I have a motion? I have a motion and a second. All in favor of PZ, wait a minute. All in favor of PZ 1 and 2 as amended and PZ 3? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We have future legislation everybody can review for themselves, and what remains are our discussion items.
I also have a shade meeting notice.
What? That's today?
Not for today, for the next meeting.
Go ahead and read your shade meeting notice.
Sorry, I'm sorry, what do we have left?
Just the discussion items.
Just the discussion items, is it? Okay.
So, Madam Chairwoman and members of the Commission, pursuant to the provisions of Section 286.011, parentheses 8, Florida statutes, I am requesting that at the City Commission meeting of September 25, 2025, an attorney-client session closed to the public be held for purposes of discussing the pending litigation in the matter of William O. Fuller, Martin Pinilla II, the Barlington Group, Calle Ocho Marketplace, Yo Amo Calle Siete, Little Havana Arts Building 2, Tower Hotel, Brickell Station, Piedra Villas, Futurama, El Shopping, Beat Stick, Viernes, Culturales, Cultural Fridays, Inc., Little Havana Bungalows, and El Hab Trust, LLCs, versus the City of Miami, Joe Carollo in his individual capacity, Arthur Noriega in his individual capacity, Victoria Mendez in her individual capacity, case number 23CV24251 RAR, pending in the United States District Court, Southern District of Florida, to which the city is presently a party. The subject of the meeting will be confined to settlement negotiations or strategy sessions related to litigation expenditures. This private meeting will begin at approximately 10 a.m. or as soon thereafter as the Commissioner's schedules permit and conclude approximately 1 hour later. The session will be attended by the members of the City Commission, which include Chairwoman King, Commissioners Miguel Angel Gabella, Damian Pardo, and Rafael Rosado, City Attorney George K. Weishong III, Deputy City Attorney Kevin R. Jones, Assistant City Attorney Supervisor Eric Eves, Assistant City Attorney Margaret Snyder, and outside counsel Raquel A. Rodriguez, Esquire, Angel Cortinez, Esquire, and Jonathan Casco, Esquire. A certified court reporter will be present to ensure that this session is fully transcribed, and the transcript will be made public upon the conclusion of the litigation. At the conclusion of the attorney-client session, the regular commission meeting will be reopened, and the person chairing the commission meeting will announce the termination of the attorney-client session. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair. Madam Chair, can I address the City Attorney?
Yes.
Mr. City Attorney, you mentioned me as one of the plaintiffs. For the record, if we could have it in the record that
you have been dismissed out of the case.
I have been dismissed, just like some other 7 city employees have been dismissed, either by them or the court, and an additional 10 potential city employees and John Does were dismissed. We only have the City of Miami involved still, the city manager, and your predecessor.
The former city attorney, yes.
And there are motions pending to dismiss those also, I believe.
Right. That's correct.
Okay, guys, my unreadiness is ready now for PZ4. May I have a motion to reconsider PZ4?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so now, may I have a motion for PZ4?
PZ4 is a quasi-judicial hearing, and so we'll need the applicant to get up and make a presentation, unless he waives. Well, actually, the city's the applicant, so the city will have to get up and make their presentation, considering that it is a quasi-judicial hearing.
Morning.
Morning. Kevin Cruz, Greenspoon Martyr. Office is located at 600 Brickell Avenue. Here on behalf of the applicant, Bill's Nursery, Inc. I don't know if since the city appealed, they would like to go first since they're the appellate.
City?
Give us a second. They're marshaling their forces.
Good morning. Tamara Allen Frost, zoning administrator. This item was, the certificate of use application was applied for, I believe, in April. The Office of Zoning denied the certificate of use application because unfortunately, the federal law says that this is a scheduled drug, and because of that, we were no longer able to issue the certificate of use. So I sent an email for a denial, and the applicant appealed the denial of the certificate of use.
So we have to, in order to vote in favor of the applicant, our vote would be?
To deny.
A vote to grant the appeal would equal a CU denial.
Yes.
So because it's the city's
Deny
appeal,
the appeal.
so to deny the appeal will have the effect of granting the CU to the applicant.
Our initial appeal was unanimously reversed at PZAB 7-0.
Correct.
So they appealed. So it would be upholding PZAB's reversal of her initial denial.
Say that again, because
Sorry.
that's not what she said. And I want to make sure we get
So-
this right.
so
That's
the-
why I asked.
So the application went to the Planning and Zoning Appeals Board on July 16th. The Planning and Zoning Appeal Board unanimously approved the certificate of use issuance and reversed my denial. So with coming, I appealed to the City Commission, so coming to the City Commission would allow.
Yeah, so she's asking you to grant the appeal, which would thereby reverse the decision of the PZAB, which would thereby uphold the decision of the zoning director to revoke, to not issue the CU. So in short terms, granting the appeal equals a CU denial. Denying the appeal equals the granting of the CU to the applicant.
I'm requesting that you deny her appeal.
Okay.
Who's on first? What's on second?
Exactly. Did you get exactly? Okay. May I have a motion to deny the appeal and grant the CU?
Okay, I'm lost. I'm in La La Land.
So
Explain
this
that.
is in my district.
So
and
moved.
This is what I want. This is
So
this
moved.
is what I want.
So moved.
So I have a motion.
I'm going to stay out of that one. You guys know how I feel about that.
What? In my district?
No, not in your district.
Really?
Yeah.
Medicinal?
No, not in your district. I don't have a problem with your district.
Okay.
I don't have a problem
So
with
can
your
I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
The motion passes 4-1 with Commissioner Croy voting no as amended.
I don't think Abella voted for it.
Oh, 3-2.
Yeah, I don't think he
3-2.
Okay.
Okay.
3-2. My apologies. Commissioner Croy and Commissioner Cabela voting no. 3-2. Understood. As amended.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, discussion item. Discussion item 1, we need to appoint a chair for the Midtown CRA. And I would just like to throw myself in the ring since Midtown is in my district. It's really for housekeeping matters. Can I have a motion?
So
I was
moved.
going to throw myself in the ring, too.
Really?
Yeah, but here's the reason why.
Okay.
My logic is that when we established the Alapeta CRA, there was a deal done that those proceeds were going to come to the city, and from there, they were going to go to the Alapeta CRA. That's the only reason I did that. But if that was my thinking. But
Okay. Well,
But
Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
This is,
Midtown.
They can still make.
Second.
Yes.
Still transfer the
So-
funds. I mean.
Right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that's to appoint Commissioner Cabela as chair of the...
No. Me.
As you?
Yes.
Okay, my apologies. So Commissioner King is chair of the Midtown CRA.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we need that for the budget hearing.
yeah, but that money's supposed to be coming to the Alapata Sierra. That was the deal.
But you don't have an Alapata CRA as yet. It doesn't mean that it can't go. It just means that for budget hearing purposes, we have a chair so we can see it through. We can revisit it again in January. But again, it's not that I'm not going to take the money and spend it up. I promise you. I'm not going to do that.
For the record, I know it's not a voting item, but I'm very supportive of an Alapata CRA.
Right. We all are, I believe.
Yep.
We all are. Okay. DI2 is annual report of boards and committees. Do we have anyone here to report?
I believe the manager was just make a statement that the report was distributed to the commissioners.
Not anymore. I don't need to make a statement. There we go.
'Cause,
That's-
yep,
that was
there
a,
it
that
is.
was a statement. Todd took care of it for me. Yeah, the report's been submitted, so I think we can pretty much move on from this item.
DI4, non-reimbursed grant expenditures quarterly report. I believe we received that as well. Or are you going to make a report? I received it. Do my colleagues need to have it? Nope, nope, nope. Thank you.
Look at that. Look at that. How easy that was.
DI5,
Deferred. Same thing with DI6. Those are my
okay, there's a motion for
DI5 and DI6.
So DI5, after you receive my memo today, then that would have to be withdrawn. Do you want to withdraw it?
No, I'm not withdrawing.
Just
I want
gonna
to defer.
defer- so-
After I haven't read your memo,
Okay.
yet, but after I read
So, okay.
your memo, then it's official. Then after that, then I can.
Okay, so do you want to defer it to the 9:25 meeting?
I'll defer to the 9:25 meeting. No, to the next meeting after that.
October
9th.
The
October
first
9th.
meeting in October.
Okay, do I have a motion?
So moved. So moved.
And
Second.
so I have a motion and a second. All in favor to
Aye.
defer DI5 and DI6
Aye.
to October 9th?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, which leaves DI10.
Yeah.
Wait, did I miss some? No,
No, that's correct.
correct. DI10.
DI10 is my item. Give Miami Day has been in something that's been in place for many, many years now. And the city has the opportunity to raise money into its parks fund at the moment. I know that we're working to change the way that the fund is structured, but we have the opportunity to raise money on November 20th and in the days preceding it, since I think that actually ramps up a little bit before. And so what I'm proposing is that as a commission, and this is something that's done at other cities, as a commission, we all agree to promote Give Miami Day to benefit the city of Miami parks and for money to be raised into our parks fund, which could then be distributed by the commission as it sees fit. So commissions in other cities take a vote, pick a pet cause, and they go on social media in the time before Give Miami Day and on that very day, and they encourage folks to contribute to a particular cause. Since what we have set up right now is a parks fund at the Miami Foundation, that would be my recommendation, and each of us is able to determine how to distribute the money within the parks in our district.
Do I have a motion? I have a
Second.
motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And that, my friends, shall conclude the City of Miami Commission for September 11th, 2025. Please don't go anywhere. Please don't go anywhere. We have a Southeast Overtown Park West CRA meeting following this one, and then we'll be over. We just have to wait for the clerk's office to flip the tape and we're ready. We are going to begin the Southeast Overtown Park West CRA meeting for September 11th, 2025. I see the Deputy Executive Director. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair.
You may begin. Oh, I see the Executive Director. I didn't see him there. Good morning, Mr. McQueen.
Good morning, Commissioner. How are you?
I am doing wonderfully. You may begin your meeting.
Good morning.
Please brief us, read the agenda items.
Good morning. I'm allowed Attorney Brown to read the agenda items.
Okay.
The first item is a resolution with attachments approving the Southeast Overtown Park West CRA Operating Budget and Tax Increment Fund with attachments as Exhibit A in the amount of $280,997,692.00. Further revising and ratifying amendments to the Southeast Overtown Park West Employees Handbook effective October 1, 2023 with attachments as Exhibit B. Item number 2 is a resolution authorizing Executive Director to engage the law firm of Koziak Tropin Throckmorton LLP to act as special counsel in representing the CRA in a housing subsidy agreement matter between us and the Avante Housing Group. And item number 3 will be withdrawn.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to open the floor for public comment. If there's anyone here that would like to speak on any of the items before us.
Chairwoman, Commissioners, yes, I have a public comment for the Overtown CRA. Wanted to thank you for hosting your Constituent Tuesdays at the CRA. There's a project that I'd like to highlight that's been led by a professor, Professor Vasquez at Miami-Dade College, redrawing based on all tax cards, historic Overtown. I want to include and take this historic Overtown experience to make it more widely available for the general public. Also, the Miami-Dade Heritage Trust is working on getting a historic designation for historic Overtown. And I believe that taking the work that Miami-Dade College has done, making it more widely available, making it a virtual reality, an augmented reality experience people can experience in person or from their homes, would really help elevate the opportunity here in the Overtown area. And what we would like to do is not just do that, but take it a step further, Director, and think about how we might be able to highlight specific areas in Overtown CRA, like the police district, the police precinct, the historic theater, some of the hotels, and actually bring them back to life, including with historic characters and personas. So I'd like to support the historic Overtown CRA and give a public comment in support of this particular initiative to see how we might be able to make this work. Thank you.
Thank you.
I look forward to any opportunity to highlight what's going on in Overtown and look forward to the opportunity to talk to you about how we can work collaboratively.
Seeing no one else for public comment period is now closed. May I have a motion to approve the minutes? I have a motion.
Second.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And may I have a motion to withdraw? Which one you want to withdraw?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to withdraw item 3. All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to approve items 1 and 2, 1 as amended?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
That was $280,000, right? $280,997.
Could you repeat the question, Commissioner?
Yeah, that was $280,997.
It's supposed to be 280 million. Yeah.
280,997,92. At this time, the Southeast Overtown Park West CRA meeting is concluded. Thank you all for your advocacy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioners.